Hi everyone. Well, it is December once again, and therefore it is time for a tipple. How about something like this for a port or a sherry? And if you've watched my other videos, you will know that I've used these little glasses quite a lot. They're lovely lead crystal. I have drawn a little Santa onto this glass, just to get the idea of the positioning of the eyes, the nose, the mouth, etc. And then it's very easy to engrave once you've done that. If you are one of these people that say, oh, I can only draw a stick man, can I engrave a glass if I can't draw? Well, yes, of course you can, because glass is a transparent medium and all you need to do is stick a little picture behind the glass. You can look up copyright-free images on the internet. You can look up things like colouring in books, that sort of thing. Very simple drawings and great fun to engrave. Right, so without further ado, let's get on with this and have a jolly good Christmas.
Okie dokes. I've got a white background so that the green shows up much better. And I am using a slightly pointy Dura white. Doesn't really matter as long as it's a relatively small burr, preferably a little stone so that it's not too bright. I know it's looking quite bright here, but it's actually not. And it's just to roughly put in the drawing. So I've removed the white because we can now see the engraving quite clearly. I've got a large diamond burr in the drill, and I'm roughly now engraving over the area of the beard. As you can see, I'm using quite simple blobby round movement so that you're getting some sort of blobby texture at the moment. I'm also engraving quite deeply. This is a lovely thick crystal. Obviously, if you're working on a thin glass, then don't go quite as deep. So the moustache is quite an interesting little feature. You can see I am actually going quite deep on this. Clearly it is very smooth. We're going to be adding a lot of texture, hair, that sort of thing much later on. But it's very simple engraving at the moment. Anything that is prominent, the nose, the cheeks, things that are standing out. Big, thick old eyebrows as well. My daddy used to have eyebrows like this. Again, the sort of trimming of the hat, and of course the bubble at the bottom of the hat is also quite a blobby kind of texture, but you will see I will do it differently to the beard. Here I'm using a large flame shape diamond just to smooth out the material of the hat a little. You can get this effect quite easily if you just use the same round burr, but I was just experimenting. These are quite new burrs that I have bought, and they are in fact sintered burrs. Of course, sintered burrs have the diamond dust going all the way through, but of course the normal, much cheaper burr is perfectly all right to use. Clearly that just has the coating on the top. Here I'm back to the round one. I am going a little bit deeper where the hat flops over the side. The deeper you go, the more forward it appears to be. So as I say, you've got to be careful if the glass is thin. I am making use of the thickness of this glass, but you can get the same effect simply with shading when you're working on a thinner glass. Yeah, you can see quite interesting effects so far. You can see I've gone relatively deep using the white tack to show you the depth there. I'm using a small round diamond burr now, where using in the middle of the eyeballs, quite carefully, not getting too much texture out of this. I'm trying to get a relatively smooth, round shape. A ball-like shape, but not too deep either, because you don't want the eyes to be really protruding out. And you can see it's not too bad. Obviously they're a little bit googly at the moment, but I haven't given him any eyelids. So here we go with some eyelids. Father Christmas is a little bit older in this image, so in fact quite often he is in any image, but so you can have a lot of fun with the facial features. Using this smaller burr, I am now adding some more squiggly bits to the beard. And to the moustache. Now in the hat, my squiggly bits are kind of similar, but it's in the end you will see that I will finish them off quite differently to the beard. Here I have a diamond burr that's not quite as coarse as the others, and I am very, very lightly running over all the clear glass areas, actually apart from his little mouth. I didn't engrave over that, but just engraving extremely lightly over everything else. You can see that the texture is showing up quite clearly. The relief, rather, not the texture. Well, the texture as well, but the relief is showing up clearly. It's the positioning of the light that helps. You can see the shadows as the glass undulates now. Here I have my soft grey rubber, and I'm roughly mapping in some initial shaded areas. You will notice that where the ridges are, it is actually really easy to shade effectively, because the burr is going to be shading initially, or essentially the upper surfaces, it is not easy for the burr to go down into where I have engraved deeply. So there's a lovely little ridge that will divide the two. And here I have a rubber disc, a slightly harder rubber, and so this is producing a slightly sharper and darker shadow specifically on those ridges. Small Dura white, lovely smooth burr, soft stone, and I am very, very lightly engraving the eyeballs that I engraved earlier. I don't want to make extra deep areas where I'm adding the iris. I'm only engraving very, very lightly just to smooth out the surface, so that here with the rubber is more effective on the smoother area. But overall, I want that whole eyeball to still remain at the same level. Here I've got a stone, you can use anything really, to sharpen the top of a rat's tail where the diamond is going all the way around. And now you will see I am adding finally the really curly-whirly hair of Father Christmas's beard. You can use the same effect, of course, for sheep, for example. Adding hair to the moustache. So now it appears a lovely thick moustache, a really 3D thick moustache, because I have gone quite deep initially. Tiny little highlights in the eyes, and just neatening over the eyelids. Adding hair, of course, to the eyebrows. Again, they are already nice and thick, so it really does make them look quite substantial. I grabbed a rather large diamond burr, and in actual fact quite a coarse one. I didn't really mean to do that. I should have looked carefully and not grabbed the really coarse one, and it produced quite a chippy effect, so I had to quickly grab another diamond here where I'm very rapidly trying to neaten the end of the nose, which I kind of messed up a little bit, but of course it's fine now. I just needed to touch it up a little bit, and my videos are not my videos unless my head gets in the way somewhere along the line, so sorry about that. Here I have a little brown rubber, and I am just roughing in some slightly smaller shaded areas. I have my grey rubber now. I'm not happy with the cheeks, so I will be sorting the cheeks out a little bit later. We're nearly finished anyway. Just adding a little bit more shading here and there. Some more hair. I was just, with this tiny burr, I am just enhancing the whites of the eyes. Apologies again for my hair. I've gone back to the cheeks, which I mentioned earlier and which I wasn't happy with. Just smoothing them out a little bit with a diamond, and then I've got the grey rubber, which I am giving them a little bit of rouge, if you like, a little bit darker. I'm just enhancing the flopped over area of his hat, which I just wanted a little bit deeper so that it comes forward more. So I now have that Dura White in the drill, and I am simply doing a blobby sort of effect. So unlike the beard, which is all squiggly like curly hair, this is more blobby. Of course, the signature. Now usually I add the signature to the base, but just for something different I am adding my signature to the side. Sometimes I do. So there you have it, Father Christmas. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, guys, and a very happy Christmas. Bye for now.